Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be a lipstick review for some K-Beauty lipsticks and lip stains. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today we're going to be testing out some K-Beauty lip products. This is something that I wanted to do ever since trying some more K-Beauty, and I was just really curious. What do they have to offer in terms of like a full range of like lipsticks, lip tints, and lip stains? Because that tends to be the K-Beauty spiel, it seems to be. And I definitely have a few favorites here today. We're going to do the second half of all of the lip stains that I showed you in a recent haul next month, because there are too many here and because some of these have quite a good staining ability. Taking them off is going to be a field day, so that's why I've sort of split it in half, and we're going to do part 1 today, and then part 2 we're going to be doing next time. Before we get into the video though, it may be good to know that I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and this greatly influences how I feel about makeup, how I like doing my makeup, and the kind of preferences I have. I've been reviewing makeup for more than a decade, so if I say something is a favorite, it's a favorite. And I'm very much into eyeshadow palettes, essence, and Catrice, and getting the use out of my makeup, so I hope you're here for that. And if you are, then hopefully you would like to consider subscribing by clicking subscribe down below and joining the Snow Angel family. So yes, we are going to be talking about some K-Beauty stuff, and I've got a mix of brands here, and we're going to be focusing on the remainder of these brands or other brands in the next video. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different lip products in today's video. But then next time there's going to be like another 12 or so. A lot of it is by Peripera, because that seems to be one of my favorites. And I've tried a couple of their different formulas. There's also some Etude House here, some the same, some WakeMake, and also Amuse. Before we get to these shades, it may be good to know that I've tried all of these out before on my lips, so I can say something about wear time and how they actually sit on the lips. And some of these are going to be more like liquefied lipsticks, whereas others are going to be true lip tints or lip stains. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because a lot of Western makeup brands have been coming out with lip tints. I've tried some by Essence earlier in the year. I've tried the one from Fenty Beauty. I've tried the one from Victoria Beckham. So at different price ranges, we're suddenly seeing all of these lip tints being announced, but it's actually very much a feature, a staple of K-Beauty makeup, and it has been for years. So I thought I could go back to the source and see where these brands are getting their inspiration from, whether those are any good. And I just feel we don't talk enough about K-Beauty in the Western makeup beauty sphere, so I thought I would like to change that. So let me start off with our first one, and this is actually something that I've already shown you. This is the Saem's Mousse Candy Tint in the shade Chai Tea. It's a little bit more warm tone than I usually would go for, and that's definitely something that I have found with a lot of K-Beauty products, is that they look differently online than what you might expect from them once you get them home. But this is a lovely product. It wears quite okay. I would say though that this isn't as long lasting as I thought it was going to be. It does fade after a few cups of coffee. And that is what the Saem's Mousse tint in Chai Tea looks like. As you can see, it looks like a little bonbon, so you have to be aware of this having a very sweet scent. The scent very much reminds me of strong sweet tea that you can get in the southern American states. So that's definitely something that has to be your cup of tea. I don't love it for that reason, but I think the shade is really lovely. Yes, it's got warmth, but it has this like pinky reddish undertone that I think is absolutely stunning. As I mentioned, this wears okay-ish, but it's got a very creamy texture. The name Mousse Tint definitely goes for this. It feels like a lip mousse going on, but without a weird dry down, which I think is really nice. So from a formula standpoint, I rate this really highly, but I don't love the scent. But the bulk of today's video is going to be these. These are 3 different types of the Peripera Ink Velvets. They have some different formulas. For instance, they have the Airy Velvet. They also have a limited edition summer range. This is also their Airy Velvet. And then they have their ink velvets. And we also have, I'm not entirely sure anymore what it's called, but this is their lip tint. So there's a lot of Peripera here, and I just really love the way this looks. It looks like a little bottle, like an ink bottle. That's how they're designed. And this is a product I first came across when I was in New York a couple of years ago. Saw it there, thought it was a little bit expensive, then was able to find it online for a lot cheaper. And before, I had 3 of these, which I've all decluttered, but that was because I didn't love the shades on me. So I repurchased some because I love the formula to see if I could find shades that worked a bit better for me. One of my favorites for the spring-summer season is the Ink Airy Velvet in the shade 25. It's called something like Zazzy Peach, name-wise, and it's a really vibrant pinky peach. Let me show you. So I've applied it quite full on, but the Ink Airy Velvet is the sheer rendition of the Ink Velvets. These you will see have a lot more pigmentation. This has a sheerness to it, which makes them very accessible and very wearable, I think, to a lot of people. And this shade is really lovely. You can build it up to full intensity, or you can wear it more like a stain. In fact, if I take my little thing here, and you blot it down, and as this wears down, it leaves this really pretty, vibrant pinky peach stain that is never going to look too unnatural on you either. So I love this one, and I really love this shade as well. It looks pretty stunning. Ink Velvets have a much better wear time than the one from the Saem. This definitely lasts until lunch, but I do feel the stain that is left behind. You could just apply some lip balm on top and wear it for the rest of the day, but it's not going to be looking this intense. Next up is another Ink Airy Velvet. This is in shade 14. I believe it's something like rosy pink. Not all of these have the shades on the bottle. Some of them do. Some of it is only in Korean. So this is another really pretty rosy pink shade, as you can imagine. So I love how the bottles of these, especially in the Ink Velvets, really show you the color that it's going to be. So the other one also has the same really lovely creamy formula that does have a little bit of a dry down. Like, you need to take these off like ASAP if you don't want them to last a full day, that's for sure. This I think is a really stunning shade. It's got a little bit more warmth than the Zazzy Peach one. So for me, this is probably more like a fall, like end of summer kind of thing, but I love how it clashes with my lilac shirt today. Shall we move on to my favorite Ink Velvet? This is shade 31. This is Wine Nude, and I wore this a ton when I first got these in. This is exactly what I was hoping to find in this line. All of these are in the 30s, so all of the shades I have in the Ink Velvets were released a little bit later. Nothing in the earlier line truly appealed to me, and this one is really nice. It's a really gorgeous, deeper nude berry shade on me. And that's shade 31. You can see it's nude, but it's got depth. It looks a little bit brown toned, and it looks pretty cool toned on me, I'd have to say, but it does have a little bit of warmth. And I think this just goes with so many different eye looks, and I love this. This is definitely more pigmented than the Airy Velvets. Those need a little bit of building up, and I like to transfer those first to my top lip and then like perfect them. But with this, you can just see it's pretty opaque, like straight away. And then these 3 reds came in a little set. It was the red set, and I love the red I had, but it was very orange toned. So now I have a couple of other ones. This is fuchsia red, so a bit more pinky, pure red, and smoky red, which is a bit more vampy. So let me show you these back to back because they're essentially the same formula as the Wine Nude one, just different colors. This is fuchsia red. This is what pure red looks like. a great classic red, which is what I was hoping to find in this line. This is so stunning. And last but not least, Smoky Red, which is a little bit darker than the other two. And this is more your Lisa Eldridge Velvet Jazz kind of vibes. It's got a little bit more orange, pulls a bit more berry leaning, I would say. So these are stunning, great formula, and they stain a lot more than I thought. I was like, I'll start with these because I don't remember these staining too terribly. But you could see, as I was starting with the new lipsticks, these stain. So my lips looks about 10 different shades of pink by now. So I hope you can still see the other shades just fine. This is why I can't do all of them in one video, because after just like the initial 5 or 6 that I have to show you, this is what my lips already look like. It's insane. One more Peripera product. I don't remember what this is called. I'll make sure to pop the name on the screen and in the description box down below because the name is only on here in Korean and I don't know. I just know that the shade is called Pink Do It. So this is definitely a traditional like lip stain kind of product. It's far more thin, watery, and it just really sort of is absorbed by your lips, and then a little bit of a color is going to be left behind. So I hope it shows up because it is quite a vibrant color though. It's like a very nice blue toned girly pink. So here what that looks like on the lips once it's fully on. You can just see it does do something more than like just the stain that was already left behind, but you get this really nice like blue tone in it, which I think works really well. I've got a little bit of green going on in my eye look today, and I feel it really emphasizes that. So this is the kind of lip color that really is perfect for like the spring summer season. If you want to brighten up your look, this is a great one. And this, by the way, it does last, but like I said, this color will wear down and then the stain is what's gonna last on your lips. So you just need to apply a bit of lip balm on top and you're good to go. Next up is the Amuse Dew Tint. Now I've got 2 more of these, but they'll show up in the next video because I haven't worn them enough yet. This shade I've worn a lot more. However, I don't know what the shade name is called because it's only in Korean. So I'll make sure to, again, put it in the description box down below. This is a really nice pinky shade, and these feel very watery on the lips. Like that's why they're called the dew tints, I think. So it feels very watery, very hydrating on the lips. These don't dry out. And again, they don't have the greatest level of pigmentation, but they do stain your lips pretty much instantly. So that's why I wanted to put these next ones in like the latter half of the video. Nice, really bright pinky shade again. So this almost has a glossy finish to it, which I think is really pretty. Especially this shade, it's this really nice ripe fruit kind of pink, which I love in the spring summer season. Like this looks like you just ate raspberries or watermelon or something like that. It's a stunning shade. I love that little bit of shine it has. This doesn't have a noticeable scent, which I also love. And like I said, this wears down really quickly. Like it doesn't stay this intense at all. You're gonna have to reapply it throughout the day, but it feels very comfortable and you are left with a bit of a stain that you can just apply a bit of lip balm on top of. Okay, so that Amuse tint was on there for like 30 seconds and it's already stained my lips this much. If you're looking for a good lip stain, I think the Amuse ones from what I've tried so far is, I think, my favorite. But I also have one from WakeMake. Again, no clue what the shade name is or what the actual product is called. This has a very similar idea to the Amuse tint. I just feel that this has a little bit more of a dry down and it's not as creamy as the Amuse, but it's still a very stunning, more like berry shade on this one. So you can see that this has a little bit more purple running through it, but I think my lips are too stained from the Amuse lip tint for this to really show up. It's more of like a nudie berry mauve tone, you could say. It has that really nice formula again, but like I said, you can feel this drying down on your lips, so you can feel it evaporating, really. but it definitely does have that really nice little bit of extra oomph to your lips. I love wearing that one if I just want to wear something that's very natural looking and I don't want to have it too much of an impact. And now we have a bit more of a berry going on, so I hope the next one still shows up. This is the Etude House Fixing Tint in the shade, can I find the shade? I can, yes, Midnight Mauve. So this is perhaps a little bit too light, again, because this is a little bit more of a nude, but it's quite a warm tone nude, so I hope the color clash is enough. This, I feel, is again, like, if Amuse is up here, then WakeMake is just below it, and then this one from Etude is just below that. So that's why this one I rate a little bit lower, also because the shade isn't the best, and this has even more of that drying down texture, I feel. It does last pretty okay, but I feel that the Amuse has the better stain out of these three as well. Okay, so this one no longer really shows up because my lips are just too stained and they're too dark. I think you can see it a little bit, that it just tones it down and it's got that bit of warmth. It just reminds me a lot of what the Saem has to offer, and I like this formula better, even though this has the scent. So I perhaps like this just a little bit better. This looks a little bit too peachy on me, so it's not my favorite shade. So next up, I just have some water-based lip stains left. So when I think lip stain, this is the kind of texture I think of, especially this. I'm not sure if you can see it. It reminds me a lot of Benefit's Benetint that I used to use on my cheeks way back in the day. Like I'm talking student days. Like some of the first makeup I bought was from Benefit, but this is just for your lips as far as I know. They're both by Etude House. This is the Dear Darling tint. And this is the Dear Darling Water Tint. From what I remember, this shade is called Oink Red, and this shade is, I don't remember, does it say here? No, it only says it in Korean. So again, I'll list it in the description box down below. And I'm actually going to be applying this watery one first, because it is a very sheer texture. And because these are reds, I thought I could do them last. Like this is straight up water. I'm not sure if you can see it moving around there. This, when I swatched it on the back of my hand, it was going into all of the lines of my hand. And with both of these, you're gonna have to sit like this with your lips not touching for a while, because else your top lip will not be covered in lip stain anymore. Like, you need to let it dry down for the full effect. So you can just see my bottom lip, and especially the center of my lip, is a lot more stained. So this is perfect for that sort of ombre, fresh, bitten look that you see a lot in like K-pop and K-beauty models. This is that look. My lips are just far too pigmented for the effect to be fully taking effect. I need to first conceal my lips and then use a product like this for it to really look nice on me. And I've only applied a little bit now because I still want to use this one on top. But you can just see, you can just get that little bit of extra color in the middle of your lips, and then it kind of spreads out. But the minute you press your lips together, it kind of transfers to your top lip as well, and you get this very nice blurred out look. This, perhaps with a little bit of lip liner, can be a stunning, very quick and easy lip look. But I find it incredibly drying. Like, you can just feel it sinking into your lips straight away, and there is nothing in this product to help nourish your lips. So you need to go on top with a balm, and then the oils in the balm, I feel, can break down the stain. So that's why the other ones I've shown so far are far better in my opinion. You see? I can't even take off that red. Like, it's not going anywhere. It won't budge. You really need an oil to break it up. So last but not least, the Dear Darling water tint in Oink Red. I remember the name of this because it was so weird. And it's got really cute packaging. It looks like an ice cream. This has better pigmentation. It's not as watery as the water tint. And I feel it's got a little bit more like more of a moisturizing formula than the water tint does. And it gives a far more intense effect. Like, this looks like a straight on red. I already wore it in a video I filmed earlier. So if you want to see this on as I'm talking and it not transferring anywhere, because this thing stays put and it doesn't feel too drying. So this is what that red looks like. This I feel just goes on a lot better. It stains a little bit better, but I do have to let it dry like this for it to take full effect. And then it stays put all day. Like you can eat like pretty greasy stuff and this will stay put quite nicely. As I mentioned, it's got a slightly thicker formula. This feels more nourishing on the lips, which is why what I greatly appreciate about this as well. And it had pretty good wear time, especially because I teach. I really appreciate it if lip products do not go everywhere when I'm talking, and this definitely stays put really well. So those are the, 13 different lip stains and lip products I wanted to show you from K-Beauty. These all have a level of staining, so that may be good to know. We could definitely see that going on in this video, I think. But they are some lovely products, and I think that these formulas far, far, far outperform the Western makeup ones that I already mentioned. Save for maybe this one. I don't think I would recommend this, but especially if you can get your hands on the Amuse, I think it's a lovely formula that far, far, far outperforms the Essence, the Victoria Beckham, and the Fenty. Same for the Ink Velvets from Peripera. I just love them. These feel more like a liquefied lipstick though, but you could definitely see it in the video as I took these off that, you know, these also stain your lips quite a bit. So even once the color disappears, you are left with a lovely stain and not like a liquid lipstick where, you know, it cracks and it breaks up and it gets all crumbly. You can very easily reapply these throughout the day. So in terms of a really good, nice, solid lip product, I think this K-Beauty has a lot to offer and we need to talk about them more, which is why I wanted to make this video. So thank you so very much for watching the video today. I hope you got something out of it. Thumbs it up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make videos 4 times a week on here. And as I already mentioned, next month I'm going to be doing the second installment with the remainder of my K-Beauty lip products. So I hope you're here for that. Stay tuned for more, and then I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Have a good day.